If AEW does this one thing, it won't be too early for this match. Hi, I'm Michael from Suplex Media. I have hundreds of hours of producing and directing professional wrestling television, and I think if AEW wants to do Will Osprey and Swerve Strickland right now, they can, but they just need to be careful. First, let's look at the character of Swerve Strickland for those who have not been following AEW weekly. Swerve was a bad guy. He did a home invasion on Hangman Adam Page, and since then, he's kind of been working on himself. He's putting in that work. Good for you, Swerve. But a lot of people still don't see Swerve as a good guy, and I understand he's done a lot of bad things, but he's trying to grow and learn from it. As we've seen that he's basically cast off the Mogul Embassy, he is paying for his sins. Currently, they just had that match with Christian Cage. If you remember, Swerve Strickland was, when he was a heel, he was feuding with Christian Cage and beat up Nick Wayne. That story has come full circle, which I love. I think that's great. But having said that, Swerve still seems to have kind of a little bit of evil streak. He's gone on and done some not so nice things. Last night, he did cut the ponytail of Luchasaurus, which, by the way, if you have that DNA, I know a very nice man who contacted me about a theme park. He would love to have a strand of that hair. And I think this pairs nicely with the story that they're telling with Will Osprey. Now, Will Osprey is a babyface. He's a good guy in a heel faction of the Don Callis family. Basically, he's the good guy of the bad guy group. Now, what makes Will Osprey good? As a viewer, we've seen Will Osprey have the emotion of empathy. And I think that's the one thing that separates him from his counterparts in his group. In Will Ospreay's match with Bryan Danielson, he dropped Danielson on his head, storyline-wise, with the Tiger Driver 91, causing Danielson to go into a spasm. Ultimately, Will Ospreay decided, I'm not going to use the Tiger Driver 91 anymore. It almost ended someone's career. And I know what that's been like because I've been dropped on my head before and almost had my career ended, which is what happened to Will in Japan. Now, having said that, Will did tease using the Tiger Driver 91 against Roderick Strong. Ultimately, he didn't need to do that. He won the match without hitting the Tiger Driver. Great, Will Ospreay is a good guy. I believe AEW is going to tell the story that Will Ospreay is using every trick in the book. He's using the Hidden Blade, he's using Stormbreaker, and he can't put down Swerve. And I think that that is going to make Swerve look much more stronger. And I think at the same time, we're going to be elevating the international title, saying that someone who holds the international title is this close to beating the AEW World Champion, thus putting it on a higher pedestal. Anyways, back to the match. I think the story that's going to be told is Will Ospreay can't get it done. He can't win the big one without using a move that's going to hurt somebody. And I think that that is going to be an amazing story that's going to ultimately decide which side of the ball Will Ospreay is going to be on. Is he going to be a heel? Is he going to use a move that he knows will injure people in storyline? Or is he going to do something to be able to beat Swerve without it? Now, I don't think he's beating Swerve. And this goes back to the first point of my video. If Swerve loses the title here, yeah, that's way too soon. You shouldn't have done that. I think the play here is establish the international title, much like Gunther established the Intercontinental title. The Intercontinental title is lower than the world title. That's fine. It always will be. But they're 1 and 2. It shows great value for the belt if somebody like Will Ospreay holds it and is putting on great matches where he's just a little bit shy. I think you elevate Will Ospreay by showing he can go against the world champion. It elevates Swerve by having Swerve beat somebody who is generally considered one of the greatest in-ring performers of the modern times. It also shows the international title is something that's held by some of the best wrestlers on the planet. Ultimately, if Will Ospreay wins this thing, I think that that's the wrong call. But if you have Swerve win, you elevate everyone in this feud. And I think that's what AEW think.